Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more Kamen Rider Saber, you guys. Not even sure what to say after last episode, but if you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons! Thank you so much, and as always, I am sending up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, yeah, let's talk about what they did to us last time on Kamen Rider Saber. Because they are just bringing the pain this season. That was episode 13, and already, like, we just have not stopped yet. You know, and I think I've said this before, but I just want to say again, I think it's really impressive that we're attached to these characters, and I feel like they're developed enough that we care about them, yet we have not gotten that, you know, what has previously kind of been the formulaic way of building the characters, of kind of like having, you know, like some kind of down episodes, you know, like we're doing our thing, we're exploring the characters, we're seeing them in action, they're fighting like kind of a monster of the week, but, you know, we're gonna get our actual things that further the plot a lot, sprinkled throughout. Nope, we're just doing all of it every episode. Like, we are furthering the plot. You're getting to know everyone, but you're getting to know them on the run. You know, it's a very fast-paced series so far, and I'm sitting here wondering how they're going to keep this pace up for the length of the series. Yet they haven't let me down yet, so I have full faith in them that they will. Yeah, so about last episode, they faked me out. They faked me out so much so far. They faked me out about Rintaro twice. They faked me out about Kento twice, because I thought for sure like that was it at the end of the last episode before last. You know, I'm like, that looked like a death. And then they brought him back and like took 10 minutes to tell me whether or not he was okay or not, but he was alive. Then they have a death scene all over again for him. This one's somehow more tragic than the last, because I can't even get into it. You had everyone around, and I just, you guys know, you watched it, if you watched the last one, which I hope you did. You know what part got me. Then we had that. Then we had Kento, like, with his eyes turning red, and they showed that shot again after showing where the sword had landed, where Calibur's sword had landed. So I'm guessing, and I know some people had put this forth before, that based on what we knew about the current Calibur, former Saber, could there be like some kind of curse where whoever takes down, or whoever is kind of like touched or affected by, you know, the power of Calibur in that way is kind of cursed to become the next Calibur? And that's kind of how it's looking. And I gotta say, I just don't, I think it's an excellent story move, but I'm so dreading the pain and trauma that all of our characters, Kento included, would go through, as a part of that story. That being said, I think, like, story-wise, it would be phenomenally interesting to explore Kento is now Calibur. I'm not sure if that's where it's going. It kind of looks that way. But I think it's safe to say Kento is, like, corrupted somehow. I don't think he's dead. He, like, disintegrated. And I'm like, oh my god, he's dead. And then we, like, see a flash him at the end. I couldn't quite tell at first, like, is it that same flash playing over that we saw when he was with everyone? Or is it, like, he is now showing up and he's, like, corrupted Kent? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But I'll tell you what, there is one way to find out, and that is to jump in and see what they have for us on this next episode of Kamen Rider Saber. Let's do it. Oh my god, you guys. Alright, so I'm still not sure what's going on with Kento now, because I was, like, pretty sure And I know a few other people were with me on this, that like he was somehow now like cursed or corrupted or something. I don't know, like the red eyes, even if he had just been like swallowed up by the darkness, you could say like, oh, that's just how you die when you die from a caliber related injury. But the red eyes thing makes me think, I could be wrong, but I just feel like, I thought for sure it happened in this episode, but maybe they're like, oh my god, we have to slow it down like a tiny little bit. Like, we have to at least give like one episode in between where like there isn't. And I mean, but that's really not the case, because we still had crazy stuff happening here. We still had King Lion making his debut, and oh, he was an actual lion. Who even comes up with this? You know, like there's a panel of people that sit in a room and come up with this. I just don't even know. Okay, so it was really beautiful seeing everyone handle Kento's death. In their different ways. And I love that no matter how they felt about it, they couldn't accept it. They were angry. They were, whatever the case was, they all decided to like keep that promise and protect the world and do their best in his honor. I said, I still don't know. I still feel like we're going to see him at some point. I was really surprised when like the same caliber, I think his name's Daichi. They actually said, I think his last name in this episode, but you know who I mean. I was really surprised when he showed back up. I thought for sure we were going to get Kento as Caliber, but maybe they're just like, I don't know, maybe we won't, or maybe he'll be like someone else or something else. I don't know. I loved like we had a couple of different uses of the lamp Alangina book. I love that as if it wasn't enough that we saw from the way they handled that they will carry him with them. We get a physical representation of like, I will take him with me into battle. Like that's how he'll be like in my heart and like literally like in my sword. I loved seeing that. Okay, King Lion was insane. That was just insane. And he just like shot the beams. That was crazy. Love it. Like I said, they just like keep topping themselves with like the forms, the effects, and even just the ideas. Like, we have gotten some kind of like new crazy thing happening, whether it's like a huge twist or death or fake out death or a new form or a new book or whatever. We've gotten one like every episode. I don't think there's been an episode where like something insane has not happened. So it's just like they keep topping themselves every episode. So, all right, moving forward, I honestly don't know where we're going with this now. I really could have sworn we were going to do like a corrupted Kento story, and maybe we still will. One thing I did want to point out is that Caliber was saying like the whole thing about like all that Friends is going to get you is like betrayal. And we heard him say to Kento that like the dad did betray his friends and everything. So is this going to end up being a story about, his heart being restored at some point, his faith in humanity and friendship and all that being restored? Is that what the crux of this is about? Does that have something to do with this like almighty truth that he has to discover? But it also like freaks me out when he says like not everything you see is true or is real. It really freaks me out because I just get this really horrible gut feeling that there's something shady about like the bases and like the governing rules or whatever of this world. I don't know. I could be really reaching with that, but man, the rate they're going, I could see this ending up like their world isn't even the real one, you know? Like, the real one is the one that, like, Tassel's in or something, you know what I mean? Like, they're in some kind of, like, imaginary world, and they just think it's the real world, and, or something, I don't know. Or something about, like, the swordsman that, like, something shady about that, I have no idea. But I'll be very, very curious to see what they're gonna do with that and where we're going with it. Maybe it's just, like, the truth about people or friendship or so, I don't know, you know, like he keeps saying, he dropped that like hint today about betrayal and everything. Maybe it's more pertaining to that, but who knows? Just who knows what they're going to do. I mean, literally expect anything on the show. Expect anything. I feel like 01, they were trying to establish like, okay, we're really going to switch up. We're going to switch up what you think is the formula for this show. And they did. They had a lot of great twists and everything. This one took the formula, crinkled it up, threw it in the recycling bin, and then just like got high on candy. And what we're seeing is like a sugar rush expressed in a series, a Kamen Rider series. Nuts, just nuts. But I love it. I mean, all this is said, of course, with a positive spin, because I've really enjoyed the fact that, you know, I can't sit here and be like, well, in another Rider series they did this, and no, we threw the rule book out the window, guys. So, okay, thoughts, theories. Let me know, because so far, I feel like a lot of you guys have really been onto something with a lot of your thoughts and theories. So, all right, I loved it. I hope you loved watching it along with me. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Please be sure to join me next time. We will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.